Whether you're a guy in a cape
or Roku Sneaky,
join.
No, you have to say your name.
My name's Chris.
I'm Roger.
And then fucking Jason.
Well, you started with the F-bombs too early, Chris.
God damn it.
I will not stand for this unprofessionalism anymore.
Yeah. Guys, we're here to entertain the geeky. What's going on?
Hello, Chris.
Roger, how are you?
Jason.
How's it going?
Jason's here. He keeps us in line.
Jason's like the mama bear.
No, as we talked about earlier, he's definitely the papa bear.
I don't know
Why am I the mama bear? I don't understand.
Because you got that voice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, the dog yelling voice.
Dog yelling voice. Like, get in here now.
Get inside.
My dog does respect me. That's what
my 8-pound dog is deathly afraid of me.
my animals respect me. No one else does. My animals do.
I mean, that's fair.
I respect you, Jason.
He's lying.
You're so strong.
He's lying. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, okay. All I've done the last 3 times that I've talked to Jason is praise him up and down.
That doesn't mean you respect him. You're just
It absolutely does.
You're all like, hey, yay, good job. You know, I can tell a toddler good job and give them a pat on the head and a teddy bear. That doesn't mean I respect them.
You have a level of respect for everybody.
No, I don't. And we know that's not true.
No, I think you respect is one of those things. Respect is interesting, okay? Because this is what Entertain the Geeky is about.
Is it?
No.
I mean, we can go back to episodes. There's no respect. We're the Rodney Dangerfield of podcast, okay?
What?
We get no respect.
Oh.
No,
You're making a
Yeah.
Caddyshack
Yeah.
reference. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. I was curious where you're going with the Rodney Dangerfield thing for a second.
We're dead.
Yeah. Well, he made an entire career off getting no respect. That's how it worked.
Yeah, but that was a joke. That was always part of the bit, right?
Yeah, I'd like to think that's truly how Rodney Dangerfield lived his life. Because there's always some truth in what comedians say.
Whatever.
All right.
So
That's what makes good comedians.
there's all this crazy Disney Plus stuff. I guess we'll touch on that first because we can use that to transition
It
So
is.
to Star Wars.
This is Star Wars. We'll talk about Star Wars. But that's why we even talk about Star
Yeah,
Wars, right? That face right there is why we even talk about Star Wars.
So Disney Plus, they reveal their pricing and all the shit that they're gonna have.
$6.99 a month.
That is 12 Jack in the Box tacos to watch awesome Disney movies from your childhood.
Well, it's not just awesome Disney movies, original series, fucking all the Marvel shit, all the Fox shit. It's everything.
Well, and all the Disney XD cartoons, right? One of the big things that's come recently out of Disney XD that is not on any other streaming service, because you can stream Disney stuff on Hulu.
Right.
But they don't have the new DuckTales show. And I'm not going to kid you. I kid you not. DuckTales, the new DuckTales show is just as good as the old DuckTales show. In some ways, it's better because it has a through line of continuity that a lot of streaming shows have nowadays, where it's yes, each individual episode can have its own adventure, but we want to keep that through line of continuity going on so that there's an overarching thing going on in the show's continuity. And DuckTales absolutely does that. It's beautiful. And I want to watch that.
I mean,
Not to mention, I want to watch old DuckTales again, which is supposed to go up on Disney Plus. And old Darkwing Duck and Chip and Dale.
Ooh, Darkwing Duck.
I want Tailspin, damn it.
Tailspin is another one that's going to go up. They're putting up all the old stuff.
Did you ever play the Tailspin video game?
Of course I played the Tailspin
on the
video game.
NES?
Of course I played the Tailspin
Like that,
video game.
do you realize how violent that game really was?
Yes.
You're a little Disney character dropping bombs.
It's true.
That's love.
Did you play the DuckTales video game also on Nintendo? Because it was fantastic.
Yes,
also.
that's where you
bounce on the cane?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
But
good.
that was okay because that was like Mario. And Mario stomping things with the cane makes sense to me. Just randomly dropping bombs out of nowhere.
Okay, Mario, you can say Mario makes sense, right? But take Mario as a real person and a turtle as a real animal, and then tell me it makes sense.
I just got really sad.
Mario he's a total prick now.
He's dark.
Stomp on that fucking turtle!
He hates the turtles.
We're in the
There
sewer.
are Goombas.
Goombas, I don't know. I
It's,
never really could clear. They're Goombas.
They're, are they mushrooms
No.
So,
that walk?
how did the Mario movie...
Oh,
Hold on. That's what we have to go on.
No,
it's not.
The whole cartoon.
Yeah, fuck that cartoon, because it doesn't
3.
explain anything.
It explains everything a hell of a lot better than that fucking movie does.
That movie, they're
does.
these
Movie
are
is
part dinosaur people.
No, that was the turtles that were part dinosaur people.
No, because the Goombas, they were big, tall guys in that.
Yeah, but they weren't mixed with reptile DNA.
I thought they were. They shrunk their brain, basically de-evolved
They
them.
devolved them, but they're not mixed with reptile DNA.
Okay, well, they turned them into because when they de-evolved them, it was this reptilian head on a person body.
It kind of looked reptilian. It kind of just looked to me like a weird...
One of them was
a weird human guy with a skin condition.
One of them was definitely modeled after a monitor lizard.
No, it was bad. Stop talking. Why are we devoting air to this movie?
I don't know. Anyway,
It was
Disney
funny.
Plus. Disney Plus is going to get like all your Marvel properties, all your Star Wars properties, all your Disney properties, new and old, all your Fox stuff with their deal. So that means Fox Television, Fox Movies, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
The
like-
Simpsons has been linked to it
Yeah.
exclusively.
All
Streamed.
30 seasons on day one.
Streamed through Disney Plus, and on top of all of that, we're getting original Marvel and Star Wars programming, which is enough reason to
buy it in and of itself, yeah.
Will I
$6.99 a month.
Here's the thing, though. Like, will I get It's Always Sunny on Disney Plus?
I don't know if the FX stuff will go to
And
Disney
that's
Plus.
kind of what I'm wondering is, are they going to do it? Because Netflix does it very well, where they're like, here's our Netflix for kids, where you can like program it to where like if your child logs in, it
Oh,
just goes
Hulu
like-
can do that too.
and Hulu does the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. Very good ways of doing that. I just don't know if
I would assume
kid.
Disney Plus will do that too.
Am I going to get that adult content that they purchased when they bought Fox?
Disney's in a really, really powerful position here in the sense that they've got to see other people do it and how it can be done very successfully, and then they have all of the content in the world that
Well, right,
everybody
and
wants.
I would wager a guess that they will put those because
Yeah.
The Simpsons is a big thing right there, right? That shows you that even though this is an adult comedy, it's not really designed for your children to be watching. It is something we're going to put on our streaming service when it launches in November. I think is when it's supposed to launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$6 a month.
$6.99.
$6.99.
It's
I
worth
rounded
it.
down.
You don't round down.
I can always round down.
Roger's like, I paid $4 for
If
that.
it was $6.49, you could round down.
Don't
to
just
six.
tell me how to math. Don't you sit there in
It's rounding up.
Don't you sit there in your high 2020 tower telling me how to math. I play role-playing games. You can always round down.
But so yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be worthwhile not only if you're a Disney fan, but if you're a Marvel fan or a Star Wars fan or a Fox fan. Like, let's be honest. And I would say The Simpsons is a dead giveaway that we will have things like Sunny and Philly, Workaholics. Well, no,
Workaholics is Comedy Central.
Arrested Development. How's Arrested Development going to happen? Because Fox owns Arrested Development.
Well, but Netflix. I mean, Arrested Development's over. I'm pretty sure that's the season 5 finale is a very good finale for the show, and I think it's a lot of the comedians that are involved have been saying like, I don't think we're going to get together again for that. I think we're done with that.
Well, how does the last 2 seasons work?
So season 4 was a little.
Because Fox owns Arrested Development.
Well,
Disney
sure.
owns Fox, but Netflix did the last 2 seasons. So do you see Disney pulling the first 3 seasons of Arrested Development off Netflix?
Probably not. Yeah.
There's contracts for all that.
I don't know if Fox actually does own Arrested Development anymore, right? Because Fox canceled it, and then essentially Netflix bought the rights to it.
Just because you cancel, you still own rights. Like Fox still owns the rights to Firefly, and they canceled it.
I get that, right? But if you sell those rights off, I feel like they don't have the right to take it back.
Buffy wasn't ever broadcast on a Fox channel, and they own.
Well,
Fox owns the rights
that's because
to
of the
Buffy.
movie.
And the TV show, and Angel.
Well, right,
and,
but the movie preceded that, and it was a 20th Century Fox movie.
right, but
The one with
oh yeah, I'm just
Those people in it, yeah.
Kristen Swanson
Christy Swanson
and Luke Perry.
and Luke Perry.
Rest
yeah.
in peace, Luke Perry.
Rest in peace.
You gave us Buffy.
He also gave us Dylan on 90210.
I don't recognize that show.
A lot of people did.
I know my mom was one of them.
My mom was one of them too. That's how much I know that.
I'm blessed. My mom.
My mom loved 90210 and she
That
loved Melrose
You know
Place.
who else was in that Buffy movie? Abraham Kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he played Pike's friend.
Yeah,
the guy
he did.
hanging outside the. You're floating. It's cool, Pike.
So that's the question, right? Are some of these properties, where are they with their contractual? Are they in some kind of contractual limbo where, Fox or Disney now doesn't have a claim on them? Or can Disney at any time say, no, this is ours, we're taking it back?
Hey, and Disney, if you're listening, because we know you do, the mouse listens to everything that we do personally.
The mouse listens to everything that has the word Disney in it to make
Yes.
sure that their public image is still good.
Disney. Well, then they're definitely not listening to this show.
The show started with an F-bomb, and then it was like, fucking Disney, what's up?
No, just in general, as much as we bitched about Disney in the past, while asking them to buy us out.
We did do that
That's a true thing.
multiple times.
Can I get a good HD remaster of Buffy? Like, I know Joss Whedon's like, hey, if they're gonna do it right, and they haven't done it right.
Do you think we'll get an original cut of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fox is the company that owns those original cuts.
Well, I understand that, but I thought
So no one else could release them.
wasn't there some shit with Lucas where he was like, no original cuts?
Well, Lucas originally said that, but again, the movie rights have never been owned by them. In fact, that was one of the goofy things about Lucas, which is why 20th Century Fox took a chance in the first place, because no one else wanted to make Star Wars. He shopped that around to various different movie companies, but the reason Fox took on the idea is because he said, "Look, you'll retain all rights to the movies. I just want the merchandise." Like literally, that's in his contract. Fox is the rights holder of Star Wars. Or of the original cuts of Star Wars, right? Because obviously Disney owns Lucasfilm now.
Right.
Which gave them access to anything that Lucasfilm did, which is the special editions.
Yes.
Right? Didn't give them access to those original cuts because they're still owned by Fox. So hopefully, we will get an original.
That'll be interesting. There was I went to a toy show with my kids a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
the Toy Man Toy Show?
Toy Man Toy Show.
Oh, Toy Man Toy Show.
And at the Toy Man Toy Show, they were selling these pirated copies of Star Wars. And I was so tempted to buy them because it was all original DVDs.
Those DVD, you can still buy those DVDs. It was the last time 20th Century Fox released the original cuts. It was a DVD combo pack that had the special edition in it and the original theatrical release.
But they're expensive on eBay.
They're not.
You just happen to get a good deal where you bought them at.
Well, no. I mean, I found the first two at vintage stock. But when I looked up the third one on eBay, the third one was only selling for like $15 to $20.
That ain't bad.
Which is not bad for a DVD that has the classic Star Wars. That's the only way to get it.
No, I would have had to pay $20 for a pirated version.
Right. I have my VHS copy still, but I don't have a VCR anymore.
I do.
No, I do.
I do.
You guys are weird. I don't have a VCR anymore.
No, there's some crazy part of me that's like, I have to keep this technology.
Well, you realize most of those tapes probably won't even work anymore.
No,
right?
they work.
Because eventually
you don't say that.
The tape will wear out.
No, it's
like
fine.
the tape has a shelf life.
No,
that's
yes,
fine.
It's
fine.
It does.
Here's what I'm finding: most of them, like to get the trilogy, it's like
them.
$60.
Yeah,
so $20 a pop.
$20 a pop.
I don't know. I just like it's hard for me to spend $60 on 3 movies.
Oh Jesus
nowadays.
Christ!
You would spend that much buying Blu-ray copies of them.
You would spend that much at a bar.
I already bought the Blu-ray copies of Star Wars.
I mean, he's got you there. You would spend that much at night.
The problem is when you go out to a bar, you don't realize how much you're spending. You're just like, yeah, I'll take another Jack. And then 7 hours later, you're like, yeah, it's time to go home.
7 hours later, like within the 3 hours that you're like, I've already made a bunch of mistakes here. Like,
yeah, let's just keep going. And then next thing you know, the bar tab comes and it's $150, and you're like, that makes sense. And then you get home and you wake up and you're like, did I really?
Make sense?
It does. No, it doesn't make sense.
It does when you're 7 hours into a bender. It makes sense that you spend $150.
Roger's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Hey, I went to the bar last night and spent under $20.
You might have a problem.
You killed it.
Under $20. I had, I don't know, some amount of whiskey.
I've been doing the drink at home thing, and
I don't like drinking at home.
I do. I'll have a friend come over, drink some beer. It is far more cost effective.
Yeah, I just don't like drinking at home.
I don't drink, so it doesn't matter to me.
Jason kills it. His bar tabs are fucking low. He's like, I'll take a water.
And
well, soda. Most of the time, they give you a free soda. All you got to do is tell them you're the designated driver, and they're like, "Oh, here's your soda.
Yeah,
no
that's
charge.
True. That's true. Like you
I didn't know.
Give you a free soda. If you're the designated driver.
Well,
Guess what? Because I don't drink, I'm always the designated driver, so I'm drinking free Cokes all night.
So with my friends, they're like, hey, I'm the designated driver, so I'm just gonna have 6.
No,
Yeah, no,
I'm the designated driver. I don't drink.
Jason's because you don't drink, first of all, but like Jason, the bar would much rather pay Jason the $3 and Coke he's going to drink that night than that $100 million lawsuit they could get for letting someone drunk drive home.
That's fair.
It's true.
I don't know if it's $100 million.
I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
The liability comes on a bartender to say, you've had enough. I'm not serving you anymore. And if they don't, well, now they've become liable for any kind
I have never been told that before.
It's true. It is true. It's on the bar to say, this person's had enough. Don't serve them anymore. I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've never been told.
It wasn't that I got too drunk. Yeah, no, it wasn't that I got too drunk at a bar. It's I left a bar. Went to another bar, already drunk, wasted drunk, and they were like,
no, get out of here.
It was Main Street. Like, we walked to the next one, they're like, and I kind of was like, I need a Jack. And they're like, no, you don't. And I was like, okay. And then I left and went to the next one.
Roger was like, are you sure?
Like, there was a pause where I'm looking at the bartender, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're my servant.
Oh, God.
The bartender's trying to save your life.
Oh, my God. Jack. And I will give you money for this, Jack. And then we just looked at each other. I didn't say to that, but I'm looking. We're having this eye conversation. And I just went, you're right. And I went to the next bar, and I was like, I would like to have a beer. And they went, yes, you can have a beer. So apparently, what type of
Roger goes in and asks the question, I would like to have a
beer?
Maybe.
Please.
Well, so anyway, to bring it all back, obviously, the original programming is a big idea for me. I'm excited about Star Wars original programming and Marvel original programming.
Hell yeah.
Mostly because they're putting Falcon and Winter Soldier together, and
this will be after Captain America.
we've seen them two on screen, and man, they have a great chemistry. And the fact that they just don't like each other is going to great for, I think, a great.
And then we've got the Loki series.
They haven't confirmed that yet. They have rumors that the things that have been confirmed are Vision and Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
Falcon and Bucky, and Hulk, She-Hulk.
I thought they were talking about a Hawkeye series as well.
They were. They have not confirmed that yet.
Okay.
And
They have
here's
confirmed the
hoping,
series.
here's hoping the Hawkeye series is Hawkeye's day off. That's all I want from the Hawkeye series.
Matt Fraction.
Yes, it's
run.
Matt Fraction's run of Hawkeye, which is he never wears the costume, yet he always gets in some shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally explaining that this guy just has a normal life. He's not a superpowered individual, right? So he has an apartment, and he has government salary, and he's got a normal life.
Right, and the dog issue.
Yeah.
Like, man, I want that.
If you're unfamiliar, they did a whole issue where there's no words in the issue. All of the bubbles are the dog's thoughts based on smells, and it was brilliant.
It's one of the best.
The dog solves
issues.
Pizza Dog. He solves the case.
Yeah.
The Pizza Dog.
Pizza Dog.
He called him Pizza Dog because he found him in an alley eating a pizza, and he took him in. He called him Pizza Dog.
That's how Clint is.
Yeah, called him Pizza Dog.
He has a heart of gold. But the only way to do that is, like now with Clint's family, is they either still got to stay dust or they split, because that's kind of how
they're not going to. And in all reality, the Hawkeye series is probably going to have nothing to do with Matt
I
Fraction
know.
and David Aja.
But that's what I want.
But the reality is, they've made their version of Clint more like Ultimate Clint.
Yeah, whatever.
And he was a great character. He was fun for a long time. And I'm excited to see, Ronan. Like, that's honestly one of my biggest draws for this new Avengers
No,
movie.
it's not.
I'm ready for Vision and the Witch.
That's on your list of draws. I don't think it's the biggest draw. The fact that it just says
I said
Avengers
one
in front
of the
of it
biggest draws.
is your biggest draw.
So I have something that I kind of wanted to touch on here, and it's
Nobody.
not something that we talked about with Dark Phoenix or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're still putting that movie out,
Yeah.
even though we don't want to see it.
I want to see it.
I don't.
Touchscreens are bad.
Yeah, I want to see just because this is the finale.
Yeah,
This is the X-Men finale.
they could just throw all that out and just say, "Hey, new X-Men movie, what's up?"
That's what they're going to do.
That's what they're going to do.
They say, but
Use
Kevin
this.
Feige said it would be a long time away.
Yeah, but long time is relative. It could be Phase 5, which means, okay, we have 2 years to wait.
It's true.
Um,
And in all reality, like, yes, did Disney have a more lucrative business opportunity in buying Fox? Sure. But you can't deny that at least a part of Kevin Feige was thinking, man, I hope this works, because then we'll have all the Marvel properties under one banner again,
Well, yeah, that's all he gives a shit about.
with the exception of, Venom and Silver Sable and Carnage.
We'll see what happens.
All the other stuff that Sony's trying to get started.
yeah.
Yeah, they did this.
Morbius. Did you hear about Morbius?
Yeah, Jared
Jared
Leto's
Leto's
awesome.
playing Morbius.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks hot.
I mean,
He posted a picture of him all jacked being
yeah, but,
Morbius.
it's not. He's not in the makeup yet.
Doesn't matter.
Jared Leto and makeup don't match. That's all I'm saying.
I want to see what Morbius is going to look like. I want to see if they're actually going to make him the
He'll have a
monstrous.
tattoo across his head that says Morbius.
if they're going
You know
to.
what? He didn't pick that. That was David Ayer.
I'm not saying it's Jared Leto. I'm just saying that's how it's going to be.
No, I'm curious how monstrous they're going to make him, right? Because you make a vampire movie, and most vampire movies, the vampire like Dracula, right? Dracula's sexy. He's romantic. He can lure you in with his charm.
Nosferatu.
Morbius is a monster. Morbius is like Nosferatu, right? This is the thing you look at and you're like, that's a monster, right? And so I'm curious, because Jared Leto's in the role, how much of it's going to be monstrous and how much it's going to be romanticized like other vampire stories?
All I know is Wesley Snipes better show up. Like,
Actually, Blade's back under the Marvel banner.
no,
Yeah.
but that,
Well,
like,
they were talking about doing something with Wesley Snipes.
Before the
Please don't.
Netflix stuff got canceled, they were talking about doing a Blade Netflix story and a Blade Moon Knight story, because they have
Please
Moon
don't.
Knight now too. But the
do
movie
Blade, don't do
in the
Wesley
movie
Snipes.
in the movie world,
I agree.
They're bringing in one of the properties that they got back during that buy too was Shang-Chi. We're getting a Shang-Chi movie in the next phase, which I'm excited about.
Interesting.
Shang-Chi's like the Bruce Lee of the Marvel Universe. He's a Bruce Lee that's a superhero.
You
basically.
know, no. I'm out. We have officially hit the 70s era of comics and comic book movies. And now they're just throwing everything out there. And if you remember, the 70s wasn't the best time for comics.
No, but what they're doing is they're giving lesser known characters the limelight.
Right.
And
also
it's not bad.
It shows some diversity, right? That's something that, seeing the overwhelming response to both Black Panther and Captain Marvel, we as fans have shown them, like, look, we want to see the diverse characters. We want to see the characters that aren't the regular characters.
Do a good Iron Fist movie with Luke Cage. Do a good movie of that.
I agree, but
at least we know those characters.
Right, okay, but remember when Iron Fist was announced and it was coming out, everyone was very butthurt because it's a very Eastern role played by a white man. So Shang-Chi is their opportunity to have that cake and eat it too, right? This is a character who's a kung fu master. You listening can't see his face, but it looks deadpan if you ask me. You have a chance to do a character that is the master of kung fu, also an Asian man. Not to mention, like I said, he's Bruce Lee as a superhero. That's fucking awesome.
My biggest thing is I just want to see cool characters. I really don't give a shit about their race or anything like that.
The comics for years have shown us that that's one of the things that is a big draw for children that read comics is anybody can be a superhero. Doesn't matter if you're big or small or white or black. Everybody can be a superhero.
Yep.
That's what we've loved about these things for years, and the movies have almost entirely ignored that until very recently.
We didn't have War Machine from the get-go?
We did have War Machine in Iron Man 2, yeah, but he wasn't a main character by any stretch.
I mean, he's
still not a main character by any stretch.
He was a big ordeal in that series. I don't know. I hate that everybody gets so hung up on the sex and the race of the hero. I'm like, dude, just put out cool fucking movies and I'll go watch them. That was my thing with Captain Marvel.
But it's 2019.
Yeah, everybody wants to find something to piss about.
Your argument is null and void because since the 70s we've had diversity in comic books, we've had diversity in comic book movies. Captain Marvel is not the first female comic book movie. She's not. She's the first Marvel female comic book main character. Mm-hmm. Great. Stop saying she's the first. Wakanda, Black Panther was not the first black superhero movie. Stop saying it's the first.
It was Blade.
And in fact, until I see saying that Rocket Raccoon was the first talking fucking animal comic book movie pisses me off too.
Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie though.
It wasn't a good one.
No.
It wasn't a good one, but it was
mine.
Interspecies erotica.
It had interspecies erotica, which is
so sexy.
weird.
So sexy.
She was a very good looking girl though.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No denying that.
Yeah, and then
she was on top of her craft at the time, and then she did Howard the Duck, and I forgot about her.
Leah Thompson just went downhill.
Well, no, she went to TV.
Well, think about it though. Howard the Duck was supposed to be a success movie. You had George Lucas involved. You had Leah Thompson. You had at that time you had an A-star cast, and they were like, "There's Ghostbusters over there. We're good."
That's true. Yeah,
we're good.
Ghostbusters was quite powerful.
But so, in addition to the Marvel thing, obviously the Mandalorian. I mean, we were talking about that because they came in today.
Did that trailer drop yet?
They came in today to sit here and record, and I was watching the live panel from Star Wars Celebration, where Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and then the cast were talking about the show. And they showed off footage that they didn't let us see, but we are expecting a trailer.
Jerks.
Yeah, fuck
We're
you.
expecting a trailer later today, which we'll make sure to link to the site and all that so you can see it.
The Mandalorian sizzle reel is out from exactly what Chris said would happen.
Told you.
Some jerk with a cell phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
Well,
with every single one of these panels.
But it's why it's actually something that I think is great because it's why now we're seeing panels that are just like, fuck it, we're going to show the audience the thing, and then we're going to show everybody else the thing later on the internet.
Well, what they should
do. It's what E3 has done for years, right? E3 is the big video game convention, and they show the trailer to the audience, and then it's immediately released online.
What they should do is, as they're showing it to the audience, make the trailer available publicly, make it go full screen here, because they give us that screen of, hey,
we'll be back in 3
minutes.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that bullshit, show it to us then, and then you get to go into the panel, and you feel like you were there, and it's immersive.
Well, right, but one of the things that makes you feel important and being there and being a part of it is you are among the first people to see this. right?
You're
And then literally
there at the live event.
And then literally hours later, here's everybody else, right? But they have to give some incentive to the guy who spent ridiculous amounts of money to be here.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's there.
He's there. He's getting autographs. He gets to see these people. There's a chance for a meet and greet. Like
that's
a reason to
That's
go
incredible
there.
in and of itself.
And Jesus Christ, I wish they would do what they did with Star Wars Celebration with the Star Trek convention, because then I would never have to go to the Star Trek convention. I could just sit back, watch the Star Trek panels, and be happy.
You can do. That's what I was doing when you guys came in.
They don't do that for the Star Trek convention.
Oh, okay.
They don't live stream it like that.
Well, that's ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
I have to
in this day and age, everything should be live streamed.
I have to go to Vegas next year, so I can go to a Star Trek convention before I die.
Have fun.
You don't want to go?
I would love to go, but
Let's go.
I can't just go to Vegas.
Why not?
Well, mostly because there's nothing for me to do there.
No, but there's
Star Trek
hookers.
convention.
No hookers. I don't gamble. I don't drink.
Star Trek convention. You think we're going to have time to gamble and drink? Star Trek convention.
You're right. You say that, right? You say you think we're going to have time to gamble and drink? Yes, I do think we're going to have time to gamble and drink, because I don't think you're going to not gamble and drink while you're in Las Vegas.
Star Trek convention.
We went. Me and John Perks went to a game convention. A gaming industry convention. We went to Gamma one year, and we said the same thing, right? You think we're going to have time for gambling and drinking? Yeah, we had lots of time for gambling and drinking. The convention doesn't go all day.
It will.
It was over by 5 o'clock, and then what do you do with the rest of your night? You go to Las Vegas.
Roger's in there. He's like, "Oh, wait, where the fuck are you going? We're not done with this convention yet.
You're in Las Vegas. You're going to gamble. You're going to drink. It's what you do.
We're conventionizing."
I'm also a fat guy, so we can eat.
I mean, yeah, they do have great food.
So you
went
would-
to some great restaurants.
You wouldn't go to a Star Trek convention.
I would go to a Star Trek convention. I just don't have the money to go to Vegas.
I mean, you're not going to gamble and drink.
I understand that, but I don't have the money.
It's actually, you get to if you gamble, you drink for free in Vegas.
That's not 100%
That's not true.
No, in a lot of places you can't.
Only when you're winning,
Yeah.
because they want you to lose.
You got to win a lot.
You start winning, they'll give you free drinks because they're trying to drink you up so that you can't win as good anymore.
Right. And they give you the free food, so you go upstairs, eat, and then go back down and gamble.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't gamble.
It's all part of the scam.
I don't gamble.
I don't either. Yeah.
I do.
I drink.
I don't drink either.
If they were like, "Hey, you come in here," I would spend $5 on a slot machine.
That's not how it works.
This is fucking criminal.
Free drinks go to the people that are winning because the casino wants to keep their money, so they're trying to get you drunk so that you lose focus.
My perception of Vegas has shifted now.
They don't give you free drinks for winning in the poker.
At slot machines.
At slot machines, at craps. Any place where the house can make money. In poker, the house makes the same amount of money no matter if you're winning or losing.
It doesn't matter.
They're like, we just take a little bit off the top. There we go.
Fuck them.
So anyway, moving
back into this Mandalorian.
Moving on from Disney Plus, we had a Star Wars trailer drop.
We did.
Yeah. I felt initially too, mostly because when I got to the title card, I was like, "What?
That's a stupid fucking name."
The Rise of Skywalker? That's a bad title, guys."
It doesn't, the whole thing is it doesn't complete the sentence. Like, we all thought these things were going to complete a sentence.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi.
The Rise of the Skywalker. It just doesn't work. No. English doesn't.
Not to mention, I was talking about, we've had 7, 8 Skywalker movies, and we've never put any names in any of those title cards.
Well, you're not supposed to. So the whole thing was based on the fucking hero's journey. Like, what the fuck? This is stupid. I'm sorry.
All the trailers, now that I'm thinking about this, all the trailers are the same. All 3 movies.
All Disney's trailers are the same. Flashy. You're excited. You have a boner? Good.
Well,
Let's go.
It's even worse.
Give us $7.
Here's Rey. Here's the new character. Here's a cool little scene. And then here's an old character from the original trilogy.
Yeah, nostalgia. There's C-3PO. What's up?
And Lando.
Yeah,
Lando.
Like the first one.
Lando.
Yeah, the first one was Han.
I was more excited about
and Luke, and the third one was Lando, because it works every time.
I like the British robot.
Me and Joe were talking about a funny way because we were thinking, why is Lando even a part of the story?
He got his shit back.
That's what we thought. We thought a funny way to write Lando back into the story is, so I heard Han died. Sorry, can I have my shit back now?
That's exactly how it has to go down.
And I think to myself too, Chewbacca, I feel like, has a claim of ownership on the ship as well.
But that's not how it works. Chewbacca didn't win the ship in the game.
It's true.
Han Solo did. The best thing is, it's finally great to see Lando Calrissian fly the Millennium Falcon in a different outfit than Han Solo.
Yeah, that was always weird to me. When Han's closet and stole some of his clothes.
It just fit perfectly. It's like in order to captain the Falcon, you have to wear a white undershirt and a leather biker jacket.
Well, no, it's really funny because I think I was watching like an Honest trailer or a CinemaSins video.
And they ripped it on that.
For Empire Strikes Back, and they were like, "What is going on?" Or no, it was the Family Guy thing.
No, CinemaSins did it, and then Family Guy did it.
Something, or no, the second one, whatever the second one was called.
Something Doc said.
But that was the joke, right? They get to the end, and Chewie, who's Brian, says, "Why are you wearing Han's clothes?" And Peter just looks at the screen and goes, "Seriously, go watch it. Lando's wearing Han's clothes in this scene."
He is. And now he's not.
Those Family Guy Star Wars spoofs were
brilliant.
so good.
They're so
brilliant.
brilliant.
It's the third one. Because they're like, yeah, we didn't want to do this. But Fox was like, here's a bunch of money. Go ahead and do it. And we're like,
yeah. One of the things I always thought was funny with Seth MacFarlane and Star Wars was he said, we did a lot of Star Wars jokes in Family Guy. And every time we would submit a request to Lucasfilm and say, hey, is this okay? Because they have right of refusal on jokes that they find not funny. And George Lucas never fought us on any joke. And we had some bad jokes, like jokes that were very adult about Star Wars with Star Wars content. And George Lucas was always like, oh, it's great. You guys are great. I was just like, that's endearing
George
to
Lucas
me.
was doing this.
It keeps his brand relevant.
But it doesn't. The toys are what keep him with money, because he still has those contracts that say he gets a percentage of all toy sales.
The toys make him money, but his brand being relevant gives you a reason to buy the toy.
Well, that's true.
It's brilliant advertising, which is why he's done well for forever.
Yeah. But I always just found that to be an endearing thing. That, everybody at Lucasfilm was always just like, "Oh yeah, you guys are funny. Go."
Here's the thing that we're talking about, like George Lucas and the merchandising. George Lucas had a property that was so successful. For Christmas, he sold an empty box, and that empty box sold out.
Yeah.
Like there was no toy.
No.
Here's an empty box.
You bought a box with a voucher in it that said, if you send this voucher in, we'll mail you your toys next year.
Right. And people fucking bought that box.
Yeah. Not to mention, most of the action figures that came out of it, not all of them, but most of the action figures that came out of that box individually are worth thousands of dollars a piece.
They're worth shit tons.
Like the Boba Fett has sold for like $8,000-$9,000.
You know what's sad? The box with the voucher that was never redeemed was worth a lot of money.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, if you never
redeemed your voucher, you're sitting on a gold mine.
Who the fuck never redeemed that?
Who knows? Some kid who was all like, oh, yeah, I got Star Wars toys with my voucher. And then the next year they're like, oh, He-Man, or whatever.
Something else came along that took their mind off of it.
You know how kids are.
I'm obsessive. Like, when I was a kid, I was obsessive. So I know I need this now.
I mean, I would too.
Except a year had passed. You're 4. You probably
underestimate 4-year-old
You probably
me.
put the box aside, and then all of a sudden, at that point, maybe you actually got the Star Wars toys at this point. You never redeemed your voucher. You got other Star Wars toys to play with, and you're like, hey, yeah.
Well, that's true too, because
they did
in between the voucher thing and actually getting those toys to the consumer, they had a whole line of toys they released the following year.
Right. Yeah, now, can you imagine though being that parent that just dropped like $20 in 1976? $20 is a lot of money.
All of the money.
And you drop $20 and you're like, what the fuck do you mean you got a box?
Yeah.
I could have gotten you a goddamn box.
I got
boxes.
Because
the same.
I'll go wrap that son of a bitch, write Star Wars
I beat
on
you
it.
literally by 1 second.
That was bullshit.
I beat you to that punchline.
I was pissed.
But so, honestly, again, my feelings on what they're doing is, do I think it's going to be a bad movie? No. Because I like Star Wars, I enjoy Star Wars, and I enjoy I enjoy the new characters, right? So for me, what it comes down to is I like Rey, and I like Finn, and I like Poe, and I like Kylo. These characters are endearing to me now, and so I'm fine with whatever they do. The problem I have is if they walk back a lot of the things that were set in stone by The Last Jedi.
Fuck those guys.
I think there's only one new character I like.
Chewbacca?
No, and the sad part is I don't even know his name. It's which one's
BB-8?
No, which one's the stormtrooper? Is that Finn or is that
Finn?
Poe?
It's Finn.
See,
Finn.
So Poe's the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Finn.
Yeah, Finn's good.
I like Finn. That's the only new character I like.
I like Poe because I like Oscar Isaac.
I like the actor of Poe. I think he's a great actor. His character. Whatever on his character.
He's Han Solo,
but he's not. He's not as cool as Han Solo.
He's not as cool as Han Solo, but he's supposed to represent the archetype that Han Solo represented, the ace pilot guy.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Who's kind of a rogue.
Yeah, because you know what? He doesn't.
I'm out.
Yeah.
His whole arc in The Last Jedi involves a mutiny.
Yeah, Han Solo.
He's a rogue.
Han Solo's archetype would have been like this. Hey, I'm out. Because Han Solo did do that.
Sure.
Han Solo spent the first 2 movies trying to leave the rebellion. He was like, I gotta go. Oh, some shit came up. Let me go handle this. All right, I got to go again. Oh, shit came up. All right, let me handle this. Now I'm frozen in carbonite. Thanks a lot, rebellion.
Sure.
Like that's Han Solo's archetype. Yeah. But Finn to me is the only like Finn's character. I'm like, this character is, 1, a really good arc, and 2, kind of being overshadowed by Poe and Finn, or Poe and Rey, which obviously Rey.
Everyone's overshadowed by Rey.
Right, exactly.
Rey's the main character.
Rey's the Jedi, blah blah blah. But that character right there,
Rey Skywalker.
I'm a stormtrooper. I've been trained for battle.
Not Kenobi.
I'm a stormtrooper. I've been trained for battle. I see battle. I'm out, and now I'm rediscovering my training, kicking in through finding something worth fighting for. Is a really interesting arc.
No, I agree.
As a character.
The problem is most people were upset by the idea of a black guy playing a stormtrooper.
No, I don't think people really cared about that.
No, people did care about that.
I think it
Do you
was,
remember that initial trailer? We start with him, and then he takes that helmet off, and everyone was like, "Ooh!"
I thought that was just because everybody suspected stormtroopers to be clones.
to be
still.
fair, that's kind of what I expected.
Because I expected
that's
a
not
clone.
Jango Fett's
Yeah.
face.
Look, I'm sorry, but 60 years after the Clone
They're
Wars,
fucking clones.
they're
They
not
were
clones anymore.
time out. They were.
In fact, it's even
Their
been
age
longer,
was
right? Because
accelerated
there was
to
a-
make them even viable in the first place to
There
use
was
the
a-
clone army.
But even in the original story, in the original series, we can look at the stormtroopers and go, well, they're all not clones because they're all different heights.
That's just because they were stupid and they didn't have computers.
That's because George Lucas didn't really have it figured out that clone troopers were going to be a thing until the prequels.
I get that, which is why we understand, especially when Luke is talking about going to the Imperial Academy, and training to become a soldier, right? Stormtroopers, yes, are some of them probably still clones? Of course. The Clone Wars has shown us that a lot of the clones had lives after the Clone Wars were over, right? There were some clones that, in fact, didn't obey Order 66 because the ARC Troopers were not part of it.
Mm.
The ARC Troopers were absolutely a separate branch, a special forces clone thing, if you will, that the Kaminoans, the Kaminoans developed, privately without the Jedi's knowledge. So we know that some of them are still clones, but because of what we see in those original stories, we can understand that the Empire started recruiting people again, right? It's become such a big thing now, they need to recruit soldiers.
I never gave a shit about.
So then by the
what
time we
color
get to The
anybody
Force Awakens, there's probably no clones left.
yeah, that was one of the things. Never gave a shit about what color any of the characters were.
I just thought it was
Because
so
fucking Jango Fett was like a Hawaiian guy or something.
Yeah, he was like Polynesian.
Yeah, whatever. No, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
He was cool as shit.
Was he though?
He wasn't.
No, I was
wasn't.
excited to see this cowboy-like character. You see what I'm saying? This cowboy-like character that's got 2 pistols and like, all right, partner, pew 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 pew, jetpack.
But the movie doesn't do him justice at all, right? There's a video game called Bounty Hunter that fleshes out Jango's story and actually makes him a cool character. Not to mention there was a lot of comics and books written about Jango. Because, on screen, he gets no time, and then he gets decapitated.
To be fair, the
He did
Fets,
fight Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And got decapitated.
He had it coming.
the Fets of the Star Wars movies never get respect. Like Boba Fett's this coolest character, the coolest bounty hunter, and what is he?
Some rapey-looking guy with a mustache.
Like really, he's just this. Ah! And I'm eaten by a big fucking hole in the sand. Maybe.
Well, according to books, he got out of that hole.
He did. I read the book. He threw some grenades and got out and was all like, ah!
Tales of Jabba's Palace. He got out of that.
He got out of that motherfucker.
But in any case, Boba Fett, Jango Fett, that is also something that's coming from Star Wars that obviously they were talking about today is The Mandalorian.
Yep.
Which we don't know anything about.
Really don't. Other than Pedro Pascal is playing him.
The guy from Narcos.
Interesting.
That's where I know Pedro from.
I mean, that's where I know him from, too. But
and not the good season of Narcos. Like, this season was okay. Oh, no, wait. I'm thinking of the guy from Rogue One. Yeah. No, he was the good Narcos.
that's Diego Luna.
Yeah.
Diego Luna.
Wow. Star Wars is nothing but drug runners. And that's what it's coming down to.
Well, and I told you about that earlier when we were talking about The Mandalorian is another one of the original programmings that's hasn't been filmed yet, but they've announced it, is they're doing a prequel series with Diego Luna's character from Rogue One, Cassian Andor, and his droid, K2SO, again going to be voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Because he's not doing anything right now.
He's doing everything right now. Are you kidding? Alan Tudyk is in demand as an
just
actor.
Voice acting.
But that doesn't matter. It still makes him an in-demand
until
actor.
I see him in Wash again, I'm not satisfied.
I loved K2SO. He's one of the best droids they've ever created.
He was
I think.
definitely the strongest character in Rogue One.
See, I think Cassian.
Rogue One was a good movie.
I think Cassian was a very strong character. I loved Cassian Andor's conflicted. I'm fighting for an idea, but in order to succeed, I have to be a bad person, right? In order to defend this idea. I mean, the opening scene alone was beautiful, where he has to kill his friend to get away.
I like the robot because he reminds me of the Pathfinder from Apex Legends. Just saying random wonky shit that makes sense.
Yeah, K2SO is great. I really love K2SO.
It's cool.
In all reality, I've loved
But
a lot of
died.
the new droids that they've introduced. And when we think when you think Star Wars droids, you immediately go to C-3PO and R2-D2, and they have no personality. Not even C-3PO has a good personality. His personality is just kind of static. When you look at K2SO, this is just a person's brain inside a robot body, and it's great.
Yeah,
and even the droid, sassy bitch,
and even the droid from Solo, the Lando's droid.
I haven't seen Solo yet.
Yeah, Lando's droid, who is a droid who thinks droids are slaves and wants freedom for droids and liberation for droids. Like, I don't know, that was a hilarious concept.
That needs to be a movie. Like
that
needs
he messed
to
with
be
her
a
programming. He messed with her programming to make her more able to react to situations like he does because she's piloting the Falcon with him. And while messing with her programming, he also created in her this personality that thinks droids are slaves and they should be liberated. So there's a whole scene where, they're in the Kessel Spice Mines and she's liberating droids. It's really funny. She was a good character too.
I haven't seen Solo.
I refuse to watch that one.
Yeah, Chris is out on Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'll watch
If
Solo.
Disney pays me to watch them, I'll watch them.
I know you're out on Star Wars because I saw your comment when Joe commented on that Star Wars Episode 9 trailer video that we put up, and I had to literally go in there behind you and clarify, he does not speak for me. I'm excited about this movie.
I said Chris is out.
Yeah.
I said Chris, so I put my name. No,
he commented that he thought Roger would be the one.
And it wasn't Joe Moore, it was my buddy Joe Pan. He was like, normally it's Roger that's got a negative attitude. I'm like, nah. I didn't respond because here's my thing on Star Wars. I treat Star Wars much like I treat the Marvel movies. I will watch them, but I reserve the right to bitch. And that's it. That's why
like any other entitled Star Wars fan.
Exactly.
I'm not even bitching, though. I just won't watch it.
He won't watch it.
Problem solved.
I reserve the right to bitch, and I reserve the right to say the movie's bad. Last Jedi was bad.
It was bad.
The Last Jedi wasn't bad.
Bad.
Last Jedi wasn't bad for a lot of reasons people out there bitching it's bad for. Luke Skywalker's character development was awesome. It made sense.
Yeah.
The storyline was okay. It's bad on an elementary how to make a film level.
There were parts of the movie that
the Force Awakens
there.
Was just a remake of A New Hope. And we live in an era now where we have seen successful relaunches of franchise. So it's been done and not retread the same storyline and go somewhere. And Star Wars had that opportunity. Look at the Daniel Craig Bond movies. Those movies capture what Bond was while updating him for this new world. And you could have done something like that with Star Wars. And not retread the same thing and given me something awesome. And you tried with The Last Jedi, and you failed because you made a shitty movie.
Yeah, fuck that movie. And now I'm not watching this.
I'm staring Jason right in the eyes.
I have no comments, right? Because I disagree, but I'm not going to sit here and rant about it because I like the movie, and you're welcome to not like the movie.
But it doesn't mean an entitled Star Wars fan.
It really doesn't.
It's me saying that they dropped the ball.
You can't say somebody's entitled if they think that, again, like Roger said, the ball was dropped. The pacing in the movie was poor. There were scenes in it that flat out didn't need to be in the movie. They were fucking stupid and had no relevance to the storyline. There was a good portion of the movie that was like that. Were there a couple of redeeming factors? Sure, you've got a fucking bajillion-dollar budget and one of the best special effects crews on planet Earth.
This is what I'm saying, though, right? Do I defend the movie and say that it's perfect? No, it's not a perfect movie. The whole side quest to Canto Bight is just an unnecessary plot development.
Yeah, it was fucking stupid
because it dragged on. It was too long. It felt to me like the pod race sequence, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool and there was some cool visuals, but it's unnecessary to the story.
But apparently we didn't get that the first time because in the director's cut of the Blu-ray version of Episode 1, we get a longer pod race.
Oh my god,
scene.
the extended.
It's like a 13-minute pod race scene. It's so bad.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's things about that scene, those scenes that I love.
Yeah, they're cool.
Right? When you see the Tusken Raiders shooting at them because they're in their territory, I was like, that makes sense to me.
Or when I saw Episode 1 3D and Anakin gets launched up and you see him come out of the screen and your stomach does do, when you saw in the theaters, your stomach did drop. You were on that ride with Anakin.
In 3D in the theaters. No, I saw them in theaters when they originally released.
I saw them in theaters when they were released, but even still then, when it wasn't 3D, when he went up, Like your stomach rose and dropped with them.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little more disappointed in episode 1, even while I was sitting and watching it.
Oh, I came out of the theater in episode 1 because I was young and I was like, yes.
Yeah, it was.
I was a little older than you at the time, and
I was like, this trilogy is going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Let's see what happens. And then episode 2 came out, and I was like, what did you do to my star?
That's because by the time episode 2 came out, you were the age I was when I saw episode 1.
Right. And I was like, what happened? And my buddies out there going, you had a sword fight. I was like, no.
That was bad.
No, this is bad.
It was.
And the only redeeming quality of episode 3 was George Lucas took a hint from the animated series and started doing something called reactionary shots. Like the scene where Anakin drops his lightsaber and and Obi-Wan catches it, or when the droids are doing something in the thing at the end, and the lightsaber comes through and stabs that one droid, and the other one looks at him and then hits the button. Like, that shit George Lucas wouldn't have done in the other 2 movies.
Sure.
But did in the third one because the animated one was doing gags like that.
Right, sure. I mean, and you know, the thing that really is funny to me is Star Wars Celebration is going on, obviously, this weekend. And they had a whole panel because it's 20 years since episode 1 came out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is the 20-year anniversary of Phantom Menace.
We're fucking old.
And it is amazing to me that Ahmed Best is the one who comes out on stage. Jar Jar Binks, the voice and the motion capture actor for Jar Jar Binks, is the one that comes out. The most hated character in all of Star Wars canon is the guy who's leading this panel, and people are cheering and they're excited. And I was literally sitting and watching this live stream, going, "Why are we excited?"
Because here's the thing
Episode 1's not a good movie.
Here's the thing about Jar
It
Jar
was the start
Binks.
of our downfall for Star Wars.
Here's the
Disney
thing
had to
about-
buy Star Wars to save it from
Disney
brokenness.
didn't save it. Yeah, Disney went and fucked it.
No,
They
already
Indiana
fucked.
No, they
Jones
didn't.
that shit.
Because honestly, regardless of what you want to say about the main entries, Rogue One is a phenomenal
Rogue One's great.
under Disney's banner.
So 1 out of fucking 5.
1 out of 4.
Yeah, because
So there's Solo. There's the 2. Oh, okay. The new one I'm already writing off.
yeah, you can't write that off till it
Can't write
comes
that
out.
off yet.
Okay, well I'm not gonna watch it, so it's written off.
So I mean, what out of 4? Well, the original trilogy gave us 1 out of 3.
What do you mean?
Like
Episode 3 was solid. Yeah,
What? No.
I like
Original
episode 3.
trilogy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the.
No, like, honestly, like A New Hope's okay. It got the ball rolling. Fucking Jedi had puppets. Empire's a really good movie, and like Empire's really like when you talk Empire's where the movie is where the trilogy is judged, and that movie's
See, I think
so
Jedi
phenomenal.
is a fine movie. I
It's
don't
a
have
fine
any
movie.
problem with Jedi.
It's just not. It's not as good. Like it was not as good as Empire, and there's really nowhere like much like most trilogies. When you hit that middle act, the resolution will never be as good as setting that up.
right, sure.
And that's kind of why I'm kind of nervous about Game of Thrones. Like the buildup has been so ingrained, and now we've waited. Like we've waited a year and a half for this, and it's happening tonight.
You know what? George R. R. Martin can suck my dick because this is where my anger is at. Right? I wanted to read the conclusion. I read these books for the first time in 1996 when the first Game of Thrones Song of Ice and Hot Fire book came out. Okay, I was excited. I read every book as it came out. I was waiting in line to buy my copy day one, and I wanted to see the ending of the story in a book.
And you
I
still
really
can.
did. That we're never going to get those books.
You might.
No.
George
Martin has
R.R.
made too much money, and he's already moved on to other projects. We're not going to get the books. Give up your hope. That's not happening.
I don't have hope. I read the first book. The first book
So-
was really good, and I stopped reading.
So in my mind, this is the only way I'm ever going to get to see how this story concludes, right? And you're right. There has been a lot of hype. There has been a lot of buildup, but it's because this is such a good story. Like they weave a
Yes.
good tapestry with their
So
characters.
Don't fuck it up.
I don't think they're going to fuck it up.
I hope
Not
they
to mention
don't.
the fact
I
that
think
this
it's
is.
fine.
But you're always Mr. Optimistic
You're
on
right.
everything.
You're right. I am
I
optimistic.
could be like, hey,
The last 3 episodes, though, are feature-length episodes.
they are.
Game of
I wanna
Thrones
have-
hasn't. They've not given us a reason
It's
to
not
fucking
just the
doubt
last 3
anything either,
episodes.
though.
I thought tonight's episode was an hour and a half.
No, the first 3 episodes of the season, there's 6 episodes in the season. First 3 episodes are regular, hour-long, and then the last 3 are hour and a half.
Yeah, Game of Thrones hasn't done anything to make us doubt what they do.
That's the reality, right? Have you ever gotten done with a season of Game of Thrones and went,
No, but that's what I'm afraid of. 'Cause this is it. This is the end. This is the end.
they're going to stick the landing.
Yeah,
I
they're
hope
fine.
so. I hope so.
I feel like they're going to stick the landing.
They're fine.
I've watched a lot.
Not to mention they
years.
brought back Alan Taylor, who directed, in my
Yeah.
opinion, one of the greatest episodes that they've ever made in the Battle of Blackwater Bay.
lot of brave men out there trying to kill us. Let's go kill them first.
I mean, that, in my opinion, that is one of the greatest episodes of Game of Thrones I've ever seen. Right, the Battle of Blackwater Bay. Not to mention, it was the very first episode that we saw that all took place in the same location. This was all happening at King's Landing, and this whole episode takes place at King's Landing.
So do we want to do what we did with Civil War and talk about who's going to actually live through the entirety of the Game of Thrones?
I mean...
Let's... fuck it. Why not?
All right.
So I think, it's hard, right? Because do I want to see Jon Snow and Daenerys take the throne and become the new king and queen for a new order?
Incest established in season 1 is bad.
It's hot.
Yeah, they're like fourth cousins once removed at this point. So
they have the same dad.
Yeah.
What?
Jon Snow and Daenerys.
They have the same dad.
No,
the Mad King.
Yeah, the Mad King.
The Mad King is not Jon Snow's dad. Rhaegar, his brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
They're cousins.
Sure.
Yeah, that's still incest. Alabama rules apply. Second cousins only is okay. But first cousins are not.
But the Targaryens. I mean, this is a time when keeping the bloodlines pure was important to these people, and sure, it led to a man who probably had a terrible mad brain and lost his mind and ended up burning alive. But that doesn't change the fact that that's how Daenerys looks at the world.
Well, we saw it with those asshole Lannisters too, because they had their cunt of a kid Joffrey.
Yeah, I mean, was he a bad guy though because he was their child?
No,
or was he a bad guy because he
was a product of incest and a cunt.
Well, because his brother is not a bad kid and his sister is not a bad kid.
No, Joffrey.
Not every egg in the basket is going to be bad, Jason.
It just takes one apple to ruin the whole bunch.
It really does.
That's what we saw.
I mean, hell.
I see that kid now, and I'm like, I just want to kick you in the throat.
Well, Tommen was so humble that when he saw his mother destroy everything that he wanted to build, he just killed himself.
That is the best scene of Game of Thrones.
He just jumps out the window.
He just walks, doesn't even slow down, just right out the window. Yep. Just doesn't scream, just
my life is over.
Yeah. All right, so you don't think Jon Snow's going to live?
No, I think Jon Snow's going to live. I want Jon Snow to die heroically, but I think he's going to live. I think he becomes the new king of the world.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. See,
not to mention him and Daenerys got fucking dragons.
Dude, so does the Night King guy.
You're right. He's got his one little undead dragon. Sure.
Tyrion's got this special thing going on, and you love him.
Yeah, I think Tyrion's gonna die.
And it's not.
He's gonna sit on the Iron Throne.
No, Tyrion's gonna die.
Tyrion would never want to sit on the Iron Throne.
No, he wouldn't want to, but he will because of that. He's the George Washington of this series.
I mean, yeah, I see Tyrion dying, but it's not going to be like something from Cersei, which is what you would expect. Like, it's not going to be Cersei and Tyrion, and it's going to be some just bullshit.
Yeah, it's going to be an STD he got.
No, it's going to be like some bullshit.
Syphilis.
He'll be poisoned or something like that, and it's just going to piss me off.
So, did you see, and it was beautiful, right? Jimmy Fallon had Maisie Williams on his talk show, and they were having a conversation about Game of Thrones, and it was such a believable prank, right? Because they didn't do it on April 1st. It was an April Fool's prank. They didn't do it on April 1st, so it was such a believable prank, right? Because they're having a conversation, and Jimmy Fallon said something to the effect of, like, it really surprised me when blah, blah, blah. And she said, oh, if you think that's surprising, you're going to be really surprised when in episode 2 my character dies. And then she went, and then, so she covers her mouth and she's freaking out and she's literally looking at Jimmy, like, pleading with him, like, you can edit this, right? Like, you can cut that part out. And he's like, yeah, we can do that, right? Yeah, sure. And she just gets up and leaves because she was like, she looks so distraught that she had ruined something. And then literally Jimmy follows her out and then they both come back out and yell April Fools. But, like, I'm watching the clip, and I didn't know what the clip was. I like watching the press stuff, right? I like watching the actors talk about what's going on and seeing how much they can give away. And so I had no idea it was an April Fool's prank. So, like, the whole time, I'm like, is this real? Are you kidding me? Jason's like, fuck! Like, are you kidding me? And the audience is in stunned silence the whole time. Like, the audience has no reaction to this at all. And all those talk shows are actually filmed before an audience, right? It's not a laugh track. This is an actual audience. They're stunned silence.
The best thing is, unlike Tom Holland, she realized she gave something away that she wasn't supposed to.
Tom Holland's always like,
that's true.
Well, I do.
That is
He's like this. Hey, Spider-Man's going to kick Thanos in the kneecap. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, we probably should wrap this up.
Yeah, we got to go.
We've been going for a little while here.
All right, so what,
No, go ahead.
do you have words of wisdom to close with?
I have no words.
Your phone is like going off. You're supposed to put that on silent.
I turned the button all the way.
You are so unprofessional. Your phone beep, beep, beep. Sounds like R2D2 getting a blowjob over here.
It was R2D2 getting a blowjob. Thank you. So you guys don't have any parting words?
I'm not wise enough to have parting words. I guess my words are: reserve your skepticism of Star Wars until you actually see the movie.
Shut your mouth.
Cobra Kai Season 2 coming out soon. Get ready, YouTube.
All right, guys, so as always, go to entertainthegeeky.com. Jason is keeping us up to date with all kinds of good stuff, and you need to show him love and click the fucking links that he's sharing on social media and read the articles that he posts because he's brilliant, and he knows it. And you might not, but he does.
I don't know it. I'm not brilliant. I like to write about nerdy stuff, and most of those articles are not actually articles. They're just quick little opinions from me, and then a trailer.
It's perfect. That's all. So, guys, go to entertainthegeeky.com. Stay on top of things. You can follow us on all of our social media there. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think about our Star Wars negativity, positivity, and all that encompasses that.
It's odd with the Star Wars negativity. Jason's very positive, you're very negative, and I was just kind of in the middle.
I've listened to you bitch about it for the past 2.5 years.
And I will bitch about the new one if it's bad.
So, guys, as always, stay geeky.
Let's go Blues.